We're going to show you how to install a solar panel on a roof. As you can see, I've got a thatched roof that's the incorrect direction. It's the sun is coming up in the east and going down in the west. So obviously my roof is incorrect. Those are old installations. I'm going to show you how to do a new installation where we're going to install it and have it in a 20 degrees showing to the sun. So first thing that you need to do is to do your planning. So this is now the installation for solar panels for people that are not professional like me. So the first thing that you do is you get your drawing and you work out all your equipment. So everything is drawn to scale. With the degrees calculation, we work on a 20 degrees and on the other side the 70 degrees. This is your solar panel facing towards the sun. So your angle here should always be 90 degrees after you did your calculation. Alright. So here you see all my lengths. I'm going to use aluminium to build my frame. And this is all the specifications, totaling the meters that I require, totaling all the screws and pins and everything I need to build the whole thing. So this whole video will be to show you how to build it and then obviously how to install it. And then we'll see how it looks after everything is done. Thank you. Alright, so this is the second phase, is to give you an idea of what the tools is that you require to build a solar panel frame. So what we have is aluminium. You can use your own type of products. It all depends on the money that you have. So we've got 2 of these. We're actually gonna need 3 of these. But tools that you need is a drill, a ruler, some screws, a saw. This thing, you can see that I'm not actually not English at the first place, and I don't know what you call all of the tools. That is how incompetent I am. But this is to show you that anybody can do it. You don't need to pay thousands of rands to get somebody to install this for you. You can figure it out yourself. Just a bit of planning and it will be possible to get this done. And then I've got my lead, I've got my angles to make my corners, and this to give an adjustable angle for my degrees thing that I need to do. If you look at this side, the roof is thatched in the incorrect manner. So let me show you how I figured it out. The good thing is always to build a model. Now this is a model out of cardboard. So this is my solar panel and this is the angle that I want. It's a 20 degrees angle more or less. This is worked out, just cut, but I've figured it out in 20 degrees. So if you can see is I've got my solar panels there currently. But that's going to be removed and a new solar panel is going to be installed on the roof in this manner. So this is my angle, but now I still don't have the right degrees facing towards the sun. So after you've done your angle like this, the only thing is that there's another frame coming in here at the bottom, and then you got your exact angle 20 degrees showing to north. So imagine this is your solar panel. This is the model now. Alright, so we put it on a 90 degrees flat bed because you're going to work this way around. So what you do is you take your protractor and you get initially your 20 degrees first. Then on a piece of paper, you draw on a 20 degrees, you draw a straight line. And then the rest of a 90 degrees angle is 90 minus 20, gives you 70 degrees. So your next angle on this side will be a 70 degrees angle. And then you get your crossing point, and your crossing point should be a 90 degrees. So at the end, what you have is you've got your solar panel and you've got your 20 degrees angle and you've got your 70 degrees angle. Sorry if it's straight like that. And then you will know how to get your distances, because if you've got this figured out with the length of your solar panel, then you know exactly how many millimeters you require here and how many millimeters is required here. So as it was just explained, this is where I actually took the measurements to get my angles. You'll see here is my 20 degrees, there's my 90 degrees, and this is my 70 degrees. And then by measuring this distance, you can figure out what this distance is to get it to scale, obviously working with a ruler up to actual measurements. So this is the scaled model. So I've got 920 millimeters times 2, and on this side 340. Here we've got the angles that's going to come in, connecting the parts, and then these are the bottom parts going onto the solar panel, giving you the angle that you're going to work with. Now we're going to cut our 4 pieces. If you look here, we've got 920 and 340, so we're gonna cut 920 times 2 and 340 times 2. So I took my measurements, the 340s and the 920s, and then I used some cardboard just to protect, to make it steady. This is the thing to make where you're going to work steady, because if it's loose then you're going to struggle to saw. Now obviously if you have a machine to saw, then it's going to be a lot quicker, but if you're like me and don't have real good tools, then you have to work with what you've got. Okay, so I've cut my 4 pieces. This is for the bottom part of the frame, and now this is your hinges. So there's going to be 4 of them. I'm going to mark it and then going to drill. The same on this side. Going to drill, and then 2 of each is going to be used for the angle. So what is happening is this is lifting up like this. This part is lifting up eventually till you get your 90 degrees. So this is coming in here plus your angle part. So that is how it's going to be screwed together, and then this bottom part is going to be screwed into the panel. What we did now is we did all the markings for where it's going to be fitted. So like you see, it's there, and then all the markings is made. And then for your angles, I've marked them. You see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, so that each part can fit by each part. And you'll see here as well 5 and 6. So here's my number 5 and 6. 5 and 6 will go this way around, fit on here, and here will be my 7 and 8. And then I've got my degrees, so then it's by drilling and then bolting it together. So this is how the screws is installed, corners, and then your stuff for the angles. So the solar panel will actually be fitted onto this part here. So if you take it the way to the sun, where the sun is, this is your angle where your solar panel will be fitted. This will be an angle, and then another one on this side, and then we're going to do bottom supports and further on. So now we are measuring our support. Remember, we've got our back angle, we've got the solar panel lying here, but the solar panel is 1960 meters, so it's going to be 240 and 240 lapping over. So this is our in-between section. This is a support section to make it stronger, and we've got another support section that's going to be installed here to make it stronger, measured 90 degrees angles, so that everything can be straight. The same here, exact 90 degree angle, and then we make our markings. So what is going to happen is this part is going to be cut out here and here. This is going to be cut off and cut out. It's going to overlap, and it's going to be screwed together. So this will be, we're busy now preparing our support system. So what we did is we cut away here, and this is fitting on exactly here, and the same on the other side. That is your angles, making sure that the lines are all 90 degrees, because if it's not 90 degrees then your whole fitment is skew, and then it's problematic to get it fitted on the solar panel. So this is the bottom part now finished. As you can see, we did the support system here, and then all these angles that I've shown is now bolted into the solar panel. So it's on 4 sides, and this is then obviously to give you the angle. Alright, so this is the example of our solar panel. Remember, our panel is fitting on here. We already done the fitments and everything. So now it's the part where we're going to lift the angle. It's lifting here with 40 centimeters as we took measurements on the roof. Then we're going to build our square here, and then our angles is coming in here. Now what happens with the angles is as soon as this is lifted, then it's going to be a bit of an angle. So we're going to cut away parts here, and then we're going to include more of that flanges that will be shown in the video until we got our figure, and then we're going to test it and see if it fits right on the roof. Is that our solar panel that's fitted on here is 30 millimeters overlapping on each side. So as soon as you overlap here, then you go into the roof, and that's your problem. So what we're going to do is we're just moving it onto the knock of the roof. So it's coming onto the knock of the roof, and then you can either just leave it as is like this, but for my purposes I want to strengthen it. Then if you look here, this is the angle that we measured that's straight with this side. So it's a straight line, but it's going to give an angle, and we're going to put on the thing here that I'll show you later. The same here at the back. This is going to slide right in, so it's also going with an angle, a straight line that's going to be fitted in, so that it can be fitted in here. So we're back on the ground. Remember, originally it was only this piece, so what we did now is we built in a square here. This is the square that we built, and that is easily just bolting it in and at the back on every corner, and then you bolt it together, and then you got your square. And now we're going to do these parts. Alright, so we've done our first square part like I've showed you before. We saw an angle so it can fit on top. Put this part on here. Then what we did here is we measured as well our angle. You see we were a bit out. This was supposed to be tight fitted here. And then this part we just saw a gap in, and then press it in and bend it a bit by pressing it over and hitting it with a hammer. But it's not. Okay, so if we already cut that size, then it's obviously the same here, so it really fits nicely over. And then here, what we did is we did some markings here, one here, and now we're going to saw it, and then I'm going to hit it in with a hammer so it can be nice and tight. So this is the piece coming off, this is the piece bending in. So what you do, you take your saw, not right through, just to the bottom, and then you do the same on the other side. Okay, so now we've got our angles. Luckily for my bar, got the thing that fits nice over. Then you put it here, and then you draw a line here so that you don't go skew. You just check if it fits, if it meets on the other end on the right place. Then you know it's in the right place, and then you don't need to saw right through it. You just make a dent in it, and then you can bend it over and it will come loose. And what we did, we just make a nice lining, and then by slightly moving it, it will break off, and you can just bend it upwards, downwards, and it will come off neatly. It's off. Then you take your file and you just rough out the edges. Then the same here, then we're going to saw in there and saw in there as well. Now we're going to fit our piece in here. We measured it on 150 outside, and then from there on it will be inserted by bending it a bit open. So what you do is you bend it slightly open and then press it in. If it doesn't want to fit in, you know you need to work it a bit on this side, but you can always pull it upwards here, and then it will start going in. There it goes in, and then we do the same on the back side, and by trying to get it in. So like here we've got a bit of problem, doesn't fit in too well, so we're going to use the hammer. It starts going. The thing is, the roof screws is coming in like this, so this is always pressing up, so you don't need to bolt nothing here. Then it's our final piece. You'll see it's a bit skew here, but you can just bend it a bit till you get it nice and straight. It will sort it out by itself, and then you take your thing, put it on top this way around, and you make your marks, drill through and tighten it, and then you're done. Okay, so this is where we're going to install our system. So I drilled another 2 holes here. It's on the bend of your roof, not at the hollow part, because then you're going to struggle. So it needs to come over here. So it's good to buy this type of material, because it fits nicely over this type of roof. So what we do is we're going to press here, going to drill 2 holes, and then screws come in, and underneath the roof I'm going to tighten it so it is nice and tight. So we've drilled and it's now nice and tight in the roof, and we did some of this for rain so they don't leak into your house, and this is now nice and steady. So now we're gonna just put on the solar panel that we already got here. It's just now by screwing it all together. So alright, and then we got the end product. You will notice that some of my measurements weren't exactly correct. So like here, it's not over the holes, but we just drill a bit. So next time doing another one, I think the best move will be not to fix this already on the ground. First put it up here and then do that. Yeah, so it's nice and tight. There, it's looking how it's look beneath. And then this goes down into the house. Alright, so that is how you install a solar panel on a roof where our sun comes up there and goes over and sets on that side. We've got the incorrect thatch roof, so that is how you do it to get your angle and your 35 or 24 degrees.